Welcome, guys, to the NBA live stream. We're talking about Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and this one is pretty interesting, right? No Giannis, no Trae Young. So excited to talk about this for DFS. I think it's going to be, if you're building an optimal lineup tonight, it's going to be very heavily duped. I've been messing around with builds, and I'm sure if you guys have messed around with it, you know, right, either Middleton or Drew Holiday in the captain, and you kind of get that lineup with the obvious value in there. It's going to be super popular. So I don't think I'm going to go that route for myself. Again, I always play a little bit contrarian in these showdown sites, so I think you can leave some salary on the table if that's the way you want to go about it, right? It all depends on your risk tolerance. But yeah, I think, anywhere from 1,000 to like 4,000 or 5,000 on the table is actually doable tonight if you want to get really different. So let's go over what we got so far for news. Again, Giannis had to come out. Jalen Harris disqualified for a year. That was interesting to read. Capella will play. I had no doubts about him. Trae Young got ruled out. Kind of expected it. Or I guess, I don't know. It was 50-50, but I was leaning towards, I guess, he would be out. And he is out, and Bogdanovich is in. All right, so let's go. I'm going to go team by team. I guess, team by team. Player, but we'll talk about each player, and then I'll get to questions at the end, guys. If you guys are just coming in, if you could, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. And, yeah, let's jump into it. What's going on, guys? Ancor, what's up? What's up, Charles? Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get into it, guys, and then I'll get to questions. So we'll start off in the Atlanta side. So Trae Young ruled out. Trae Young, obviously, when he was out there, he was playing like 40-ish minutes and being a super, super high usage guy. So the biggest bump goes to Lou Williams, right? Because Lou Williams went from like 12 to 14 minutes off the bench to starting point guard and playing 35 minutes. So we'll start it with Lou Williams here. I'm 100%, assuming Lou Williams starts again, and he played great last game. I think we get similar minutes from him. So all that being said, he is, I'll just say, a very scary fade if you're fading Lou Williams at 5.2K, because Lou Williams still has it, right? He is still a good point per minute guy. It's just really the minutes this season haven't really been there. So a good shooter obviously is going to have, run the point a decent amount. He had 8 assists last game. Really like Lou Williams. Probably my favorite play here on the Atlanta Hawks. Where it gets interesting here is kind of the other starters. We have Herter, Collins, Capella, Bogdanovich. All pretty solid plays in my opinion. We'll start with Kevin Herter at 8.4K. So the minutes are going to be very secure for him. 40, 36, 30 in that blowout, 37 and 36 minutes. What I like to see here is last couple games, back-to-back games of 7 assists for Kevin Herter. So we know he's a decent shooter. He can get hot. We've seen the upside. I think a very solid play at that price. Now, John Collins should come in a little bit less ownership. So blowout, foul trouble, floor game. 3 straight bad games for John Collins. If you guys have been playing NBA DFS all year, you know when guys have a bad game or a couple bad games in the row, their ownership is always going to drop. It just is. Now, if these were his most recent 2 games, 40 and 44 fantasy points, right? Those are the 2 most recent games for John Collins. He would probably be the second highest owned guy in Atlanta. But he's not going to be that, I don't think, because of the recent games. He was 30% on last game. Could be a little bit less. Now, Collins, obviously, we know the upside is there. We've seen a floor. Floor partly due to foul trouble, partly due to the last game. Again, I didn't watch it too much, but I would just say more of an outlier floor game, 18 fantasy points in 30 minutes. So I do like John Collins a decent amount here because I think he'll probably be one of the lower owned starters for Atlanta. Bogdanovich, so he was dealing with that knee injury for a while, but back-to-back games, he's looked healthier. Again, 35, 33 minutes. I think we get, mid-30s minutes from him. Also, again, he's going to handle the ball a little bit more. 5 assists last game. He had 20 real-life points. I do like Bogdanovich. We've seen a low floor. He's not hitting his shots, but I think that's a fair price. Capella at 6.8K. Definitely in play, too. My issue with Capella is the minutes, right? The minutes haven't been great on him, even in competitive games. Both teams have shown they want to go a little bit smaller. Now, is there a chance that Capella plays 38 minutes tonight and, things change? Yeah, anything's possible. And the price is pretty fair in Capella, 6.8K. So, do have interest in Capella. I know he had some big games when Trae Young was out, but, I don't necessarily think he gets a massive usage bump. The reason I say that is because he's not like a post-up center, right? Capella is not a guy you're going to feed in the post a ton. He gets his fancy points or his real-life points from alley-oops and putbacks. So Capella, I think, is a fine option, but probably not my favorite starter for the Hawks. And then I'll mention a couple bench guys here. So Gallinari at 4.8, he lost minutes last game, only played 19. I think we normally get about 25 minutes from him. Again, a bad game last game should lower the ownership. Viable value play. The issue I have with Gallinari is he is close in price to Lou Williams. He's close in price to Bobby Portis. If Bobby Portis starts, I think those two guys really, really stand out for value, and we should get starters soon for both teams. Don't have them yet, but that's my issue with Gallinari. Now, again, what that will do, it should lower the ownership, and he has shown upside if he can knock down some shots. So more of a contrarian value play for me. Cam Reddish also intrigues me. Played 23 minutes off the bench last game. He's actually a decent offensive player. I think we probably get around 20 minutes off the bench, which at 3.2K, I think that makes him, again, definitely in play. Guys like Okongwu and Chris Dunn should be in the rotation. However, I don't know if it's necessary to go to either of these guys. Like Okongwu, we probably get around 10 minutes off the bench. But then there's no Trey, no Giannis. It's pretty easy to make a lineup without going to a lot of these cheap guys. So I just don't think it's really necessary to get to either of them. I expect Chris Dunn to play off the bench again in maybe 10 to 15 minutes at 1.4K. Like I said, though, I just don't know if it's necessary to go there. Now let's move on to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee, again, no Giannis Antetokounmpo. Middleton and Drew Holiday should both be close to 100% owned, in my opinion. The only way these guys fail is a freak injury or severe foul trouble. If this game stays competitive and there's no injury or foul trouble, I don't see a way that Middleton and Drew Holiday fail. So, and for optimal build-wise, you should play one of these two in the captain. They just get a massive usage bump with Giannis Antetokounmpo off the court. So, love Middleton, love Drew Holiday. Again, I don't have to spend a ton of time here. I really think the only way they fail is something really weird. Like, again, injury or severe foul trouble. Love Middleton, love Drew. They're most likely both going to be in the winning lineup tonight. And again, optimal build-wise, I would go to one of those guys in the captain. Brook Lopez at 6K. Ownership should be pretty low on him. Minutes haven't been great. He did play 29 last game. I do think he might have to play a little bit more without Giannis, so maybe he pushes for 30 to 35 minutes. And he can have upside if he's knocked down some threes. So Brook Lopez, not an optimal play by any means, but I think it's a decent contrarian play. Should be pretty low owned, I would assume. Now, Bobby Portis, I think, is going to be pretty popular. And if he starts, I completely agree with it. We've seen when Giannis has been out in the regular season that Bobby Portis is starting, and Portis is starting. Okay, let me just refresh. So, Lou Williams, and Bobby Portis. So, Bobby Portis, I think, plays, I would say, at least 25 minutes. Great point per minute guy. He's only 4.4K. Love him. Love Lou Williams. They're both going to be popular, but it's for good reason. They should be popular. Now, Tucker, Connaughton, I'll kind of say the same thing about those, bench guys for Atlanta. They're viable. They can have upside. I just don't think it's necessary on the slate. So, PJ Tucker, 4K, I would assume probably plays 35 minutes. I think he could get you 20 to 25 fantasy points, but will that be enough? I don't think it will, because you have Portis and Lou Williams too close in price to him. Same with Connaughton, right? It's just, these guys are not completely out of play. I just have a hard time prioritizing them over those two value plays I just mentioned. So, they're viable if you want to get really different in the large field stuff, but it's going to be hard for them to make the optimal lineup, in my opinion, unless they get really hot. And then Bryn Forbes at 2.6, I do think he plays more. He played 14 minutes last game. I think he could push for 20. He's a guy that can knock down some threes. Again, though, kind of like Chris Dunn, Okongwu, is it necessary? I don't think we have to go there. And that's it. Like, Thonsis might get some minutes here with Giannis out. They also could go small and go Jeff Teague. And I know I sound like a broken record. I don't think it's necessary to go there. I think that's getting too cute. So, I think this is going to be a really, really chalky build tonight, right? Everyone's going to have the same lineup. Again, Drew, Middleton, and the captain. That's where you go for optimal. And it just, most people are going to land in the same lineup. So what I think you can do tonight, if you want to, it depends on your risk tolerance. If you just want to say, screw it, I want to play the optimal lineup and I'll split it with however many people have it, that's fine too. I have no issue with that. I will just say, if you play the optimal, close to the optimal, it is going to be duped a ton because there's just not a lot of options here. So what I think you can do to get different is, one, if you're going Middleton, Drew Holiday on the captain, leave salary on the table. You can leave $2,000-$3,000 on the table. It is definitely viable on the slate. Or if you want to get different, maybe you take a shot on someone else on captain. Again, I would not be shocked if one of these Hawks guys is in the optimal lineup in the captain spot. It's possible, right? It was Lou Williams last slate, and he won us a lot of money. Now, that doesn't mean Lou Williams is going to be in the captain spot again, or in the winning lineup with the captain spot again, but it's possible, right? He went for 41 fantasy points in 35 minutes, so that is another way. You either leave salary on the table if you're playing one of those optimal chalky plays in the captain spot, or you take it, you roll the dice and one of these cheaper guys like a Lou Williams, maybe a Bobby Portis. Maybe if you're really good about John Collins and think he bounces back at lower ownership. So that's kind of where we're at, guys, for the Showdown slate. Should be a fun one. I'm excited to watch this. Knock on wood, hoping the Bucks can pull it off. And yeah, let's get some questions, guys. Leave them in the chat. I'll be on for another just under 10 minutes here. So we're at 227 viewers, 51 likes. If you guys are just coming in, if you could hit that like button, let's try to get to triple digits. Why not? Let's shoot for the stars. Try to get to 100 likes before the end of the show. And all right, throw some questions in the chat, guys. So Herder or Collins? That's a good question. I think they're pretty similar. I will say this. I think Collins is going to be lower owned than Herder. I think both have a similar upside. I think Collins might have a little bit of a lower floor with Trae Young out just because foul issues. But yeah, it's close. I don't know if I have a super strong take. Kind of lay out the info for you and let you decide. Collins, I would think, would be lower owned. Do I play Herder or Collins at all? I'm good going to either of them, yeah. Yeah, optimal build. If you play that Chris Middleton in the captain or the Drew Holiday in the captain and you build, all the best plays, it's going to be duped a ton. But I'm fine. Like, you can do that. You'll probably, I don't know what exactly the payout would be if you play in the big tournament. You might like 3-4x your money. Is Bobby Portis viable in the captain? Yes. To get a little bit different, I think Bobby Portis and Lou Williams are my favorite cheap captains. Favorite captain, optimal build-wise, I think it's Drew Holiday for me. Top fade, I mean, I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I will just say, okay, I'll say this. Any value play besides Lou Williams and Bobby Portis will be my fade. Dominique said, shh, DK, don't tip them off for Atlanta captains, LOL. Appreciate the super chat, man. But yeah, again, I think that's one way you can get different, guys, if you'd like. Who ends up with more points, Portis or Brook Lopez? It's a good question. Much prefer Bobby Portis point per dollar. I would think Portis outscores Lopez. Not my bedroom, no. I'm not home. I'm in Michigan for a couple more weeks, so. Lou Williams or Brook Lopez at DK. Lou Williams by a wide margin. Trying to keep Portis quiet. We all know you're going to Portis captain. Captain Collins too risky? Not at all. He should be. I think he'll be pretty low owned to those Atlanta Hawks guys. The upside is there with John Collins. The floor is also there too. So I like John Collins to get a little bit different. Brad with a $10 super chat. Let's win some money, brother. Let's get it, man. Thank you. Very, very generous of you. I had a takedown Game 7 with Portis captain. Yeah, I've won some decent money with Portis in the captain. So, Tori with a $10 super chat. Let's see. What do you got? Getting weird and playing Collins Capella with Middleton captain and the other obvious chalk. Good luck. All right. I don't think a ton of people are going to play Collins and Capella together. So, that should make your lineup different, I think. I don't mind it. I think Capella can still, he's cheap. And John Collins obviously has the upside. So, I'm good at that to get different. Appreciate the super chat. And let's see if we can keep it rolling. Who do I play? Pat Connaughton or Cam Reddish? That's a really tough one. Again, I don't really think I want to go to either of them tonight. I don't think it's necessary. Pat Connaughton should be lower owned. Reddish, again, did play over 20 minutes last game. I'll go Reddish, but that is pretty close. PJ Tucker, captain, said nobody. Hey, I mean, if he knocks down 7 corner threes, he could do it. Capella or Bogdan for tournaments? Another good question. I think it's close. I'll go Bogdanovich. Lasagna or Indian food? I'm not a big fan of either, to be honest. I don't know if I have a good answer for that. DK living on 7 Mile Road, about to bust a freestyle out. Capella or Lou Williams? Lou Williams. Thoughts on Reddish and Gallinari? Fine contrarian value plays. Both should be pretty low owned. Is there a way one of these guys is in the winning lineup? It's possible. I think Gallinari can obviously get hot behind the 3-point line. Reddish, I would say, is a little bit riskier. But if you're building a chalky lineup and you want to get different, you can go that route. It will make your lineup different. Again, my advice is I don't love going to really any of those guys. But yeah, Portis at captain, I like it. I think him and Lou Williams are the two value captains I would go to. Would you put PJ Tucker and Bogdan or Herter and Gallinari? Herter and Gallinari. Bogdan a captain, MVP in both sites will make your lineup different, especially on FanDuel. FanDuel, everyone's going to play either Middleton or Drew Holiday. Herter or Collins. Again, I don't know if I have a super strong take on that. I think Collins will be lower owned. I think both have a similar upside. Herter with Trey out, I don't know. I mean, they've both shown a decent low floor. I guess if it was just me, straight up, I'll go Collins to get a little bit different. The Drew captain, Middleton, Portis, Williams, Bogdanovich, Hunt. Yeah, you're right? You were 100% right. It's going to be duped a ton. But I do think it's pretty optimal. DK, you going to take down tonight with Portis captain? We'll see. We will see. Brad with a $2 super chat forgot to ask. Paper or plastic? What are we talking about here for? For like utensils? Drew or Middleton? Price doesn't matter. So point per dollar, it's going to be Drew. Price doesn't matter, it'll be Middleton. Portis or Lou Williams? Lou, because I think he can play more. Malcolm with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. Bogdanovich at captain, MVP on both sites. Cash. Yeah, so you're going to have a different lineup on FanDuel for sure. Because I know MVP, you don't have to pay 1.5x the salary, so everyone's going to go Middleton or Drew Holiday. I probably wouldn't do it, but it'll make your lineup different. Groceries? Okay, so plastic, I guess? Middleton shoots so good at home. Yeah, he tends to play better at home. All right, another good question. I got to answer this. Rock, paper, scissors, you go to one all day. I honestly don't think I've ever done anything besides rock. It is rock all day long. About to start opening the beers. Enjoy, man. Yeah, blondes for sure. Blondes for me. All right. Any last minute questions, guys? Or I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate everyone coming to check out the live stream. I know it's a shorter one, obviously, for the showdown slates, but we hit over 200 viewers. Thank you for the super chats as well. Good answer, my man. Appreciate it. All right, let me just see if we got any more last minute news or anything. I think we're all up to date. Cool. Chalk answer, rock. Yep, it's rock for me. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Good luck. Enjoy this game. Let's hope for a great game. Let's hope for a Bucks victory for my sake. And I'll see you guys back here, not tomorrow, because there's no game tomorrow. But, so what, Saturday? Yeah, I'll see you guys on Saturday. Enjoy your night.